Hey Jana and Wamuhu, this is going to be a 10-minute video clip, or 10 minute or less, of a cycle of exercises that you can do 2 to 3 times through as you work out. Okay, it's going to involve some of the stretches we've done before and progression of the higher intensity level ones as well. And it'll work everything and demand the most important functions that we're working on, and it'll hit all the major muscle groups and major coordinations we're trying to teach in like a 5 or 6 exercise cycle, and then you can repeat that to build up your muscular endurance. And as you go through them, they should get easier as far as you're being more flexible as you go through it, but maybe harder in being a little bit more tired. So it'll start off with cats and dogs. Okay, so 10, inhaling as you look up and bring your shoulder blades together. Exhaling as you round. 10 cats and dogs into our bowing hurdler stretch. So that foot goes outside the arms. The foot is also directly vertically underneath the knee. And you can bring your elbows down as much as you can. Your upper body down over that. Okay. Then move that into pigeon. Bring that across. So your shin is ideally parallel to your chest. Shift your body weight over your hips and then go down and forward as much as you can and hold that down, stretching the hip deeply. Then back into the hurdler's stretch. So the same leg is still forward. This foot is flexed, thigh is tight, hips are square. So as opposed to the hip being like off to the side like that, bring it square and try to contract your quadricep and flex your foot up towards you. If you can't be all the way down, like because it's a really big stretch on the hamstring at this angle, then you can have a chair near you and use that and try to get into extension as best you can. So if you're doing it with the chair's help, you would try to use it right there, staying as forward as you can, and then also trying to get pelvic extension. So instead of being like rounded in your back, you try to bring your tailbone out so your back is flat. Drive the weight into that front heel, and you'll feel a big stretch on the hamstring. Then bring that up into a lunge stance. Okay, really flat through your stomach, upright, and we're holding that. We're going to do arm circles there, shoulder blades down together, flat through the midsection, big stretch on the hip flexor, golfer's grips where knuckles are clenched, like that, and circle forward 40 times, and flip your palms up, circle backwards 40 times. Okay, then bring that same, still in the lunge position, bring your arms up, overhead extension. Okay, so you interlace your fingers like this, roll them, and pull them up. Okay, and you're going to switch and do the other side. So that other leg to reviews. This bowing hurdler stretch for 1 minute, into pigeon for 1 minute, into hurdler stretch for 1 minute, into kneeling groin stretch, 1 minute, lunge stretch with arm circles, 40, 40, and overhead extension. Try to get 38 seconds to 1 minute on the overhead extension. That's your first bit of warm up. You're going to transition to the next cycle. Will be more ab work and extension. So we'll do the hip lift. Okay, you're familiar with that one? Pressing the hip out. This foot is flexed and parallel to the ground at the shin. Okay, arms are relaxed. Holding that for 1 minute. Then you're going to work on this new one. Straightening the leg, lowering it, touching it to the ground, and pressing back up. Okay, Jan, if that hurts your lower back, then just do it like this. Okay, keeping the knee bent. Okay. You want to keep your lower back flat throughout this motion. It's working on building up your hip flexor strength and your ab strength. This is also really demanding, so if you feel back pain, don't do it. We're working on building up the strength of the abs. So we've got hip lift, and we've got these raises, or the modification of those raises. Then you're going to switch and do the other side, okay? Holding for 1 minute, and then do 15 raises, either like this, or like this, okay? Nice and slow, pulling with your hip flexor, keeping your lower back flat. Then we'll do our hip crossover stretch, so that ankle over the opposite knee, that goes to the ground, and then you look in the opposite direction from which your legs are going. Palms down, arms out at 60 degrees. That knee is pushing out. 1 minute, then do the other direction, 1 minute. We're going to do our upper spinal floor twist, which you're familiar with. You stack your legs at 90 degrees at the hip, 90 degrees at the knee, then you rotate, open like a book. Hold that for 1 minute. You're going to go back into cats and dogs, 10 there. Then we're going to move into our runner stretch. Okay, should be pretty warmed up by this point. For the runner stretch, you kneel in front of a chair or a counter. This knee touching the heel, that foot is tucked. You come up, squeeze tight, keep your back flat so your tailbone's up and out. You don't want to be rounded. You want to try to roll and extend your tailbone out so you get a big stretch in your front hamstring. Keep a lot of the weight driving into the front foot, in the midfoot. Keep your thighs tight, your hips square, so your belly button is pointed straight down, and your feet are in a single line, directly beneath the midline of your body. Okay, so hold that for 1 minute, then switch. Then spread foot forward, bend, thighs tight, feet square, bend forward. Okay, hold that 30 seconds, keeping your hips, keeping your thighs tight and the weight in the balls of the feet. And if you have it in you, you're going to do the forward bend sequence. So you'll cross your arms and you'll pull yourself down and up 5 times with your arms like this, keeping the weight in the balls of the feet the whole time. 5 times with your arms back, and then 5 times with your arms straight down. The whole time your thighs are flexed, your feet are straight, and the weight's in the balls of the feet. Then you'll do standing windmill, 5 times each direction. Thighs are tight, outer buttocks are tight, and you're bracing so that you don't hyperextend through your lumbar spine. You keep that flat. The weight stays even, heel to toe. You're going to go 5 times back and forth with your feet really wide. Then 5 times with your feet hip width apart. You can do it with your back against the wall if you want, if you have the space for it. Okay. Then you're going to do standing quad stretch. So if you need to be by a wall at first, it's okay. But then try to get it so that both hands are grabbing your foot, and that your knee is directly beneath your hip and pulled back so that it's in one plane with your other knee. Once you got it with both hands, tuck your tailbone, flatten your stomach, stand up really tall, and hold that for 1 minute, and then switch. Then you can just end with tricep stretch. So you can do this either standing or kneeling. We're going to work on our ability to get all the way back into what's called cow's face, where you reach back behind your back and grab like so. But if you can't get that far with it, then just put your hand midline and push back, getting a deep stretch in your tricep. And try not to, like once you get it back there, try not to be hyperextended. Okay? It's more about opening the upper back, not doing our distension pattern, which we're trying to get rid of. So after you do that, then you'll do standing arm circles. I'm kneeling so that you can see. Put your shoulder blades down together. Circle again 40 times each direction, and then end with standing at the wall, like we normally do at the end of class. Thighs, our feet hip width apart, chin back and down, head level, and then just stand there for 1 minute. And if you like, you can repeat that whole cycle. Probably only twice, because that was a lot actually. But if you want to do it 3 times, you can. It should probably take you about an hour if you do it straight through. And there you go. At the end of the month, I'm going to make one video or several videos that are like more demonstrative rather than just saying what to do. But hope that works for the meantime. Okay, take care.